This is Vilkaviškis in southwestern Lithuania. I'm starting this story in this area for a reason, which will become obvious as I continue. Here, before the Second World War, it was a military training ground, military barracks. I don't quite know where they were, but they were in this area somewhere. Here, you can see we've got a brand new sports centre, and now I'm going to tell you of the murder of the Jews of Vilkaviškis. This town is located around 20 kilometers from what is today the Russian border. But before the Second World War, it was the German border. It's exactly the same place. Lithuania became independent as a result of the First World War. Before that, it had been occupied by Russia for a very long time. The use of the Lithuanian language, for example, wasn't allowed. So you'd have in this area a lot of smuggling of books in Lithuanian, printed in Germany and brought into this country. Of course, in those days, very few people could actually read. In the interwar period, it was very difficult for many countries, and unfortunately, nationalism for each of these individual countries proved to be a major problem during the Second World War. Had the four countries that were attacked by Nazi Germany stood together, that's Austria, Czechoslovakia, Poland and Lithuania, they'd stood together at the beginning of 1938 and offered a common front, it's my opinion that the Second World War wouldn't have happened, because between together they were far stronger than Nazi Germany was. However, that isn't the way it happened. Nazi Germany did an alliance with the Soviet Union. And part of that alliance involved carving up countries. First country obviously carved up was Poland. Lithuania was originally to be granted to Nazi Germany. Stalin changed his mind towards the end of September 1939 and asked for Lithuania, and in exchange gave up Poland between the Vistula and the Bug rivers, which had been assigned to him. However, Nazi Germany turned on Soviet Union on the 22nd of June 1941 at 3:15 in the morning. The invasion started. It took them less than 5 hours to get here, to Vilkaviškis. And there was a bombardment. During the bombardment, there was a synagogue in this town, really big one. I've seen photographs of it, big wooden one. That was destroyed. I mean, there are those who claim also it was destroyed after the German forces entered the town, as indeed it is written here. I don't know if that, I don't think that, whatever, we're relying on different accounts from different people. It's often said that it was local Lithuanian Nazis or nationalists or whatever. The word in Lithuanian, I think, is white hands. Sometimes the word partisan is used to describe those who actually helped. But I think because of the photographs from Kovno, which show the horrendous beating to death in like a courtyard of a garage, and of people. But I think myself that I think most modern research has shown it was in fact German units that were responsible, and it wasn't the case that Lithuanians or Lithuanian Nazis, let's call them, started the killing by themselves before the German forces actually arrived. The Jews of this town were ordered to gather together, and the men were brought to the military barracks somewhere down there. They were ordered to do various types of work, slave labour effectively, and part of that slave labour involved being brought to where we're now going to go, which is down here. The Holocaust in the Soviet Union, the occupied parts of and those countries occupied by the Soviet Union, such as Eastern Poland, Lithuania, or the other Baltic states, happened very, very quickly. Massacre of Baba Yar happened within days of the occupation of Kyiv. Absolutely days, very, very quickly. And here it was a bit longer, but not a lot longer. So at the end of July 1941, the men who have been doing slave labour for just over a month were ordered to dig trenches down here. They were brought down here, and then they were shot. They were murdered. The women and children amongst them were moved into the former barracks where the men were, and it would seem, from one person who escaped, who told the story, that some of them recognised things that had belonged to their husbands, and then they understood that they'd been murdered. Although the camp or ghetto commandant, it's not even a ghetto really, it's a camp commandant, told them that their men had been sent to Lublin, the Lublin area, and that they would soon be joining them. They were to be soon joining them by coming down this path, which is down here, and it was down here that they too were murdered. Very few survivors. Indeed, of the people who did survive, there were those who were arrested when the communists occupied, the Soviet Union occupied Lithuania in June 1940. I read an article in the Jewish Chronicle from 2009 about a gentleman, 61 years old, but he was born here. I think they left in 1963. Then he came back in 2009. But his father had survived the war by being arrested by the communists, taken off to somewhere in the depth of the Soviet Union, and ending up in the Gulag, and then surviving like that. Now, see the monument here. I'm going to read to you what it says here, which is slightly different to the story I have just told you, but I'll read it to you anyway. So, the destruction of Jewish Vilkaviskis. And turn the camera around so you can see what's happening there. The German army occupied Vilkaviskis on the first day of the war on the 22nd of June 1941. After the occupation of the town, Germans burned the old synagogue and many Jewish houses. In the town, they established the German administration and Lithuanian police. Arrests of Soviet government activists and Jews started. On the 30th of June 1941, the arrested Jews were herded to the building of the former Vilkovishkis priest seminary. It was guarded by local white hands and policemen. White hands being the word, I think that's the word for collaborators. On the 14th of July 1941, the Jews were moved to the barracks. Every day, able-bodied Jews were taken to the town to clean the streets and ruins. At the end of July, those arrested were taken to the grounds near the barracks, and in 3 days they dug a ditch 25 metres long and a few metres deep. On the 28th of July, the arrested men were taken out from the barracks and divided into several groups. Also, a group of Lithuanians was brought here from the town to the barracks. policemen took the arrested in groups to the ditch in the grounds. The condemned were shot by the German soldiers. The Lithuanian policemen guarded the barracks and firing place in the grounds. The massacre lasted for 3 to 5 hours. That day, about 500 to 700 Jews and 60 to 70 Lithuanians, Soviet activists, were shot. On the 15th of November 1941, the remaining Jews of Vilkaviškis were shot. The report of Karl Jäger, that's the Karl Jäger report, commander of the German security police and SD, Sicherheitsdienst, security service, indicates that on that day 115 Jews, 36 men, 48 women, 31 children were shot. This time the Jews were shot by Vilkaviškis policemen. This is how the Vilkaviškis Jewish community that existed for over 400 years was destroyed. I'll take you to the pit, the monument, where I think possibly this is it. The pit was somewhere here. I know from experience that the monuments put up in communist times are often in the wrong place. We'll walk down here. Now, in the census of 1923, there were 3,200, approximately, I can't quite remember exactly, but it's around there, Jewish people living in this town. By the time of the beginning of the occupation, there had been around 2,500. Now, it needs to be borne in mind that many Jews escaped from the Suwałki region or were forced into Lithuania, but they didn't, as a rule, came from here. The closest border to here is East Prussia proper. So, we have this monument on the left, written in Lithuanian, and on the right in Hebrew. And unfortunately, I can't read either language. I can tell you what the letters are in both languages, but that's it. And unfortunately, it's quite difficult to even see, for that matter. For the Lithuanian nationalists I just mentioned, often the problem is that with nationalists they say, well, the Jews didn't want to integrate, they didn't want to assimilate, and they, in the case here, very few of them, it would seem, or most of them perhaps, didn't speak Lithuanian. They used Yiddish as the language, or indeed they spoke Russian or even German, or Polish in some cases, but that's more to the east of here. Lithuanian was largely language spoken in the countryside, but that's often the case with language like Ukrainian was language spoken in the countryside, or in sort of those parts of Poland, those parts of Germany where Polish was spoken in the countryside in Germany, in the towns, for example. But my question is to ask this, is where does the hate come from? And there's this idea of blaming Germans as though there's something evil about Germans is clearly not the case, because this hate started long before anybody thought of a country called Germany. And that's the thing, is that where the hate comes from, and it's something that goes back for hundreds of years, and it's this which is the real thing to answer. Let's have a look at some of these pictures which we have here. There's a picture here, Jewish men in Vilkaviškis before they were murdered here in 1941. So you can see though behind the town's been ruined. So in the bombardment, bearing in mind that would have been from military activities. I would have thought on the 22nd of June 1941 the German troops that came here had other things to do, and they would have continued marching forward. Jewish kindergarten in Vilkovishkis in 1936. All these children were killed here, at this spot where I'm standing right now, 1941. 2 of hundreds of Jewish children who were murdered here in late 1941. All right. Until 1941, there lived around 3,600 Jewish people in Vilkaviskis. Here, the sexton is riding around the town, telling people of the approach of the Sabbath. So, different number to the one I've just quoted you, shown here. A picture drawn by a pupil of the Azuolas Progymnasium in Vilkaviškis of how they picture the Holocaust. I think it's worth noting that the child who did this, obviously the child did it, look at this, the person here is not in any uniform, suggesting that it's not one of the SS or in this case it wasn't SS, it was the police battalion, but who did the killing. But there's very strong suggests it was a Lithuanian collaborator doing. That's the impression I get anyway. I mean, bear in mind that's just how a child saw it. Memorial Grove. Now, I mentioned the hatred, but it's also worth pointing out that there were many people who helped. Within a few months of the German invasion of Lithuania in June 1941, almost all of the Jewish community of Vilkaviškis was murdered here, yet some of the neighbours risked their own lives to save them. 68 people were recognized as righteous Gentiles by the Yad Vashem Holocaust Memorial in Jerusalem or by the Lithuanian government as life-savers. And we, the descendants of those Jewish people who have their roots in Vilkaviškis, have planted these trees in recognition of these brave and saintly people. And as it says here, so most of it I've just read, listed below are the people, and many others helped, but they did not receive official recognition, and they are listed here. Of most people who helped, of course, there's no recognition whatsoever because either A, they died, or B, they were unable to talk about it, particularly in communist times. Bear in mind that when the Soviets recaptured Vilkaviškis in 1944, and August 44, I think it was, then they stayed for another 46 years. I realised as I was walking that I made a mistake, and I thought, and then this is the problem when you do things off the top of your head, and I've forgotten what that mistake was, and so I can't tell you what it was. Anyway, I'll write it in the description or something or in the comments if I remember what it was. I'm doing this off the top of my head, which sometimes isn't, it mightn't be the best way of doing things, but so I'm working off memory, but I'll try and do a proper video on the fate of the Jewish population of this time. I didn't talk, as I normally do, about the perpetrators very much here, but I will do something on this. Somebody left a comment. The name of the person who left the comment I can't remember, but one comment has really changed my summer, because that person asked me about the Sonderkommando, Einsatzkommando really, Tilsit. Sorry, there's no difference. Sonderkommando, Einsatzkommando, effectively, usually it's the same thing. Usually, not always. Einsatzkommando Tilsit, and it was these police units which are responsible. I've actually done quite a lot of research for that, and being in this sort of area during the last couple of months, and so I'll do more on the perpetrators of these crimes and what happened to them after the war. Anyway, so you may be wondering, why isn't there anybody around? Well, it's very early on a Sunday morning. It's the last Sunday in July 2025, and I tend to get up very early to do these things. I hope you found this interesting. Anyway, so I upload every day now. Every single day there's a video, but longer ones like this go up on usually go up on a Friday. It's every day, 2000 hours my time. So if you're in Lithuania, it will be 2100 hours. And if you're in the United Kingdom, it'll be 1900 hours. So depending on but my time, Central European time, 2000 hours. There's a video every single day. Most days it's just a short video. If you are interested, there's also, I've got a premium service, membership costs either €5 or €6 a month, something like that. I can't remember what it actually costs, but currently there's more than 730 videos, but I must make it quite clear that the overwhelming bulk of those videos are in short form, so it's not of this length at all. For the moment, from me in Lithuania, thanks for watching. Bye for now.